I don't understand how it works. And I don't believe I need to understand how it works. Most of us can understand how a iPhone works. We still get to use it. I don't know if we're changing our subconscious beliefs and we're making these beliefs manifest, or if we are tapped into an intelligent universe and that universe is redesigning itself for us. And honestly, Brian, I don't care. All I know is when I visualize future outcomes, they tend to happen. It's as if you're reprogramming something inside you. But let's talk about habit control, okay? Right? Jose Silva invented a technique to rewire bad habits. And if you like, I'd like to teach it to your audience here in about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your meditative level of mind, you want to see that giant television screen in front of you. But this is what you're going to do. On the screen directly in front of you, you're going to see your current bad habit. And so I remember one particular student, he was addicted to Coke. Now, I'm not talking about cocaine, I'm talking about Coca-Cola. This guy had to drink 2 liters of Coca-Cola every single day just to function. Coke, because of its sugar, because of the caffeine, can be highly addictive, right? So he needed 2 liters of Coca-Cola every single day just to get work done. But of course, when you're putting that much sugar into your body, it's going to really mess up your biology. So he was putting on weight, he was losing energy, he couldn't focus, and his wife was starting to get pretty disgusted with him. So he knew he needed to change. So the first screen, he saw himself, and you want to exaggerate. So you want to really exaggerate. He knew having to drink 2 liters of Coke is bad, but he exaggerated. He would see himself like chugging Coke dripping all over his body, exaggerating it, making it ridiculously obscene. Now what you do is you move the screen 15 degrees to the left. Now why are you doing that? In your subconscious mind, according to Silva, the subconscious thinks of the left, the future, as being on your left. So 15 degrees to the left means near future. And now on the TV screen, he sees himself taking some deliberate action to reduce his Coke consumption. So maybe now he's replacing 1 bottle with water or sparkling water. So he's still drinking 1 liter of Coke, but the other liter, he's maybe having sparkling water. And then you move the screen another 15 degrees to the left, now future, and you are seeing the end result. The end result here is that he's fit, he's only drinking sparkling water, he is offered a Coke in a restaurant, and he's disgusted by it. Now, in 2 weeks, this guy in Texas completely eradicated his Coke habit. But here's the trick. Every time, every day, as you see progress, you take into account that progress in the first scene. So when he first started out, he was seeing himself chugging 2 liters of Coke. But by day 8, he's seeing himself chugging 1 liter. By day 10, half a liter. By day 12, he's just having 1 glass of Coke. But it's still disgusting. But by day 14, it's completely replaced with water. He's updating the visual. Now somehow, this seems to have a hypnotic effect on your brain. You can literally train your brain to overcome bad habits, overcome addictions. Now, it's not going to work for everyone. You must have a susceptible mind, right? Like some people are easily hypnotizable. If you're easily hypnotizable, you might be able to do it in 1 week. If you're not easily hypnotizable, it might take you a month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on how severe the addiction is. But it's a very, very effective tool to rewire bad habits. You can even use it to train yourself to go to the gym more often, to train yourself to eat healthy, to implant good habits into your day-to-day routine. And that's what you do in phase 4. Phase 5 actually comes from the author of the book Law of Attraction, the woman who coined that phrase.
Okay.
And that woman is Esther Hicks.
Okay.
She wrote a beautiful series of books, which she says are channeled works. In other words, she was communicating with a higher intelligence and writing down this wisdom. So the books are fascinating, and it was the Law of Attraction book that inspired that famous movie, The Secret.
Yeah.
Now, in the book, she suggests a beautiful technique called segment intending. Now, again, you don't have to believe in the Law of Attraction. This technique works no matter whether you believe it's magic or whether it's just a brain conditioning exercise. Now, segment intending is what we do in phase 5. We called it commanding your day, and it's basically just that. If you're meditating in the morning, if you're doing the 6th phase in the morning, you then visualize your day unfolding segment by segment. So you might see your morning segment, getting the kids ready for school, making them breakfast, getting them onto the school bus, and you see that unfolding most in the most amazing way. You're fully connected with your children. There is no stress, there's no rush. You give them a beautiful hug. Then you might see the next segment. Maybe you meditate, maybe you go to the gym. The segment after that, commuting to work, no traffic, a great podcast on the radio. The segment after that, your morning huddle at work. The segment after that, an amazing lunch with a colleague in a beautiful restaurant. Great food, great ambiance, everything going well, inspiring conversation. And you go all the way segment by segment by segment by segment by segment until you come to nighttime. And then you see yourself going to bed in the most amazing, perfect way where you're about to just completely knock off in deep sleep. Now, segment intending, it turns out, is a really powerful protocol. Now, Esther Hicks in her book, she says, if you're normally a negative person, think of it as a little game. Play the game. It's called Wouldn't It Be Nice? Wouldn't it be nice as if my commute today was just smooth? Wouldn't it be nice if my boss appreciated me at the 3 p.m. meeting? Wouldn't it be nice if lunch at that restaurant was inspiring and I really connected with my colleague? Wouldn't it be nice if when I came home from work, my spouse was in a super loving mode and we just had the most romantic dinner together? It turns out that when we start expecting good things to happen, good things happen. Now, is that the law of attraction? Maybe. But it could also be the brain's reticular activating system. So in our brains, right at the back over here, there's this fleshy part, and it's called the RAS, right? And this is the goal-seeking mechanism of the brain. It's what allowed us to hunt bison or find the right berries to eat before the dawn of civilization. You're giving that brain of yours a command on what to notice. So let's say you do go to the restaurant with your colleague and the food is bad. You're less likely to focus on the food and more likely to focus on the beautiful ambiance, the connection with your colleague, the inspiring conversation, because you told your brain to focus on that. Your brain will focus on what you tell it to focus on. Psychologists, when they talk about this phenomenon, they always give the same example. You buy a white Volkswagen and you're driving down the street. All of a sudden, you will notice every other white Volkswagen because your brain has a target on what to focus on. So you're literally commanding your brain on what to focus on that day, and you're telling your brain to focus on positive things. So in a way, you are in a form of self-delusion, but it's a good kind of self-delusion because when you go to bed at night, you're going to have less negative thoughts and more appreciation for how beautiful your day went.